Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video vlog is going to be a little bit different, a little bit special for a lot of people. I hope it's very special and very inspirational actually. This video has been requested by a lot of people. A lot of people have asked me to do this video, and I just never have had the time to do it just yet. I always wanted to do it, but I never had the time to do it. As you all know, I am a teacher by day, and so I'm currently out on spring break, and so I'm like, wow, you know, since I'm out on spring break, I can actually get out and do this video for you guys. So this video is pretty much going to be going over my home buying process. How did I get to that big house that you see at the intro or at the ending of all my videos? Like, how did you do that? That is what a lot of people have requested of me, and so I'm just going to share some of my advice, my tips of what I did to get there. And also, before we get started with that video, just to let you all know, once again, my name is Kosh Javar, for those who may not know, and I am, right now, as of recording this video, I believe we're at about 915 subscribers. And it's just so amazing to see how far this channel has started to grow with subscribers. I am so happy to have you guys here with me, and I hope that you guys find my videos very inspirational. I hope that you guys find these videos to be very encouraging and uplifting, and I appreciate all the comments that you guys be leaving behind. I do. Trust me, I believe in looking at the comments, reading the comments, and responding to you guys. So trust me, as soon as you make a comment, I will get that notification, and I will do my best to respond back to you guys. And I love all of the suggestions and all of the recommendations that you guys have been giving me. And trust me, I take all that into accordance when I'm trying to plan my house, decorate my house, everything. And so, also with that being said, please make sure you guys like and share the video. When you like the video, then more people are able to get out there and see the video. And like I said, today's video, I hope that is very inspirational and helpful to a lot of people. And also, if you are not a subscriber, I would love to have you a part of my channel, and I would love to hear your recommendations, any advice, your thoughts, and your opinions as well. So please hit that subscribe button and come back and see us. On my posting schedule usually too as well, just to let you guys know, I usually post every other Saturday morning. So just in case if you've been wondering, when do I post my videos, I usually post my videos every other Saturday morning is when I usually post my videos. But with all of that being said, so we're going to jump into today's video. And so the best way that I am doing this to introduce today's video or get you guys in that mood is to show you, where did I start off? Where did I begin? And so over here, this was my very first house. And I believe in this video, I am going to do my best to input footage. But this right here, this 2-story house was my very first house that I bought. And I bought this house back in, I believe, 2007. However, I sold this house. That is my very first house that I owned. And the house that I'm currently staying in now is now my second house. I thought that this house was going to be my forever home. I really, truly did. And also, as you can see here, I had a beautiful lakefront view as well. Beautiful lakefront view. So this is the house up close, real quick, just showing. This is the house up close, and then I'm gonna go ahead and move on. But yeah. So yeah, so a lot of people are like, Kosh, are you sure do you really want to give up this house? It's a really nice house, Kosh. Why would you want to give it up? You know, but I always knew that I didn't always knew, but I wanted something bigger. And so this house right here, I did see that house get built from the ground up as well. That house, I saw that house get built. I wanted to build it. I never knew nothing about building homes until I actually came over into this community. Actually, I had no idea of what I was doing. Yeah. So actually what I'm doing is I am in the process of getting ready to go home. I'm gonna go get some food to eat, and then I am going to head home, and that's where I am going to finish recording this video is at home. But also I just want to I'm gonna take you guys right quick to a community right quick here in Texas, just for, like I said, more inspiration, just to let you know that you can do it and how to do it. So give me one moment. I am going to pause right here and I'll be right back, you guys. So now, to go along with this video as as motivation or encouragement, so the community here in Texas, in Houston, Texas, and this is how my journey kind of started off, or how it kind of began. So my journey started out by one day I was just out driving around, and I seen houses being built and going up, and how it started by just pulling in and pretty much seeing the model homes that they had built already, and seeing the price range for these model homes. Some of these homes was maybe in the 200s, the low 200s, mid 200s. Some homes were in the 3s, the 400s, and 500s as well. So they usually have something out there for you within your price range and within your budget. And so my very first house, that's how it got started with me. I was trying to find a house that I liked, that I loved, and that I wanted to move into, because I didn't want to stay in an apartment. I wanted to get a house before I turned the age of 30. See, now I'm telling how old I am. Before I turned 30, I wanted to be able to say, hey, I bought my first house. And that's what I was able to do. I was able to successfully buy my first house. And like I said, I had no clue of what I was doing whatsoever. But you get out and you need to interact with the builder, get to know who are the sales consultants, get as much information as you can from them. And I met a good sales consultant with Weston Homes, actually. And when I met this gentleman, he provided me with so much information. And this was like after I bought my first house as well. After I bought my first house, he provided me with so much of wealth of knowledge and information of how to get to the house that I'm currently in now. And I'm so grateful and thankful to him for that wealth of knowledge and information that he provided to me. That's why I just wanted to bring you to, it's just through this model part right here, to see those model homes right there, just to let you know that's how my journey kind of began, when actually the beginning of buying my first house and also buying my second house that I have now. Get in there, ask questions. And also, if you have a realtor, if you're working with a realtor, ask your realtor questions. Your realtor is going to help you and assist you, because they want you to buy a house. They really do want you to buy a house, because at the end of the day, when you buy that house, when you purchase that house and you close on that house, when I say close, that means that you sign your name across that dotted line for all those loan paperworks. When you sign your name on that, you have just released money to the builder, the seller. Everybody is getting paid now because you signed your name across that list, on that dotted line, So now that I have that part done, now I'm going to head home real quick. I'm now about to head home, and that's where I will finish out the rest of this video for you guys. And I might also input some more other footage too as well, but I'm headed now to go get something to eat right quick, and I will pick up our conversation there. All right, one moment. All right, you guys, so I am now back at home. I have now had the opportunity to relax a little bit and unwind and eat my food, as I stated earlier. Also, while I was out, I was able to do a little bit of shopping as well. I was able to get some of these vases that I saw at Home Goods, and I bought my first ladder today as well from Lowe's. So that made me very happy, very excited to say I officially bought my first ladder. I never bought a ladder before. you know. But I bought my first ladder. But anyway, so back to the conversation that we were having earlier in regards to my home buying process and how was I able to get to where I'm at today. And so one of the main reasons why I'm here today is because, for one, I believed in God, trusted God, doubted God, got mad at God, prayed again, trusted God, believed God, and I'm here. But so just to give you a little bit more background, though, so I bought my very first house, as you all seen in the video, and I bought that house for a total of $237,000, and that was my very first home, and I thought that was going to be my forever now home. I really did. I promise you, I did. That was my house. It was my first house, and I'm like, this is my forever now home, and I was so excited for my first house. I really was. I put a total of $2,000 down as earnest money. That house was a brand new construction home as well, built from the ground up. But it was a spec home. So when I say a spec home is where the builder has already chosen the lot that the house is going to be built on. And they have also already decided the design, the interior design and exterior design for that home. So they have already chosen the brick, they have already chosen the paint colors for the exterior, they have already chosen the floors on the inside of the house. They did it all. Only thing you're doing is you're buying what they're presenting you with as a spec home. And some people like buying specs, some people like to build the homes brand new and put their touch of design on the inside, which is what I had the opportunity to do for this house right here. So anyway, that first house was $237,000. It was a spec home, and I had the opportunity to see that house be built from the ground up to what it is today. And I was going to build it too as well, but I didn't know what I was doing. That first house right there taught me so much to help prepare me for this house right here. And also, I bought that first house the beginning of that process started in May of 2017, and I closed on that house in September of 2017. And it was a small house. It was probably about 2,200 square foot of space, two-story house. And as you can see, it's set on a beautiful lot. You had a beautiful lake view and a huge backyard. It's just that after staying there for a few months, they were still building homes in my community. One of the builders was Weston Homes. And so when I went into one of the homes that were being built, and I was just like, wow, this is everything. I like this. I really do like this. And so I was really taken away. I just love how much the space and wide it was, and the tall ceilings, the huge kitchen, the big living room, the fireplace. I was like, wow, people are buying these homes and building them. And, and so one day, while I was just looking at one of them, I was able to meet the sales associate with that company. And that gentleman right there, he advised me. He said that these homes are selling at pretty much about $360 to $384 range is how much they were selling for. And I was like, okay. And after I got that bit of information, and I continued to ask questions. And so when I asked the question, I said, well, how much of money does a person or an individual needs to be making to afford such a house like this? Because I'm thinking you must have a job making $200,000, $300,000 a year to afford something like this, maybe. And he was like, you just need to be making about $85,000 a year. 85. So you mean to tell me, as long as you're making about $85,000 a year, you can afford a house like this? Y'all, in my head, I was like, okay, well, I'm a teacher. And being a teacher, I make already about $50-some thousand. Well, all I got to do is just go get a part-time job. And if I get a part-time job, I can easily make that additional 30-some thousand or 20-some thousand dollars that I need to put with my teaching, and that will qualify me. And so that right there is what started the whole process of where I'm at today now. Because of that little bit of information, I would never have known or think that I could afford something like this because of that. So, and now is the time where you have to start, now that you got this idea in your head, now that I have this idea in my head, now it's time to come up with a plan. You have to come with a plan of action. You have the goal in your mind now. You have the goal. The goal is that you want this big house, okay? This is what you want. Now, you have now set yourself up for this. So now, what are going to be your steps and process what are the steps that you are going to put into process or into play to get you to that goal? And so that's what I started doing. I would go visit that sales associate to, stay up to date on information about the houses, the pricing, tour the houses as they were being built. It was just nothing but motivation and encouragement for me that, like, one day I'm going to be able to get something like this. And so, of course, the first thing that I did was, since I now know how much of money I need to be making, I knew that I needed to find a part-time job. And so that was the first plan. My first plan of action was to find a part-time job that would give me those funds to make it match up to $85,000, if not more, a year. And so some people are like, "Ooh, I don't think I would do that. That means you're working 2 jobs and you're gonna just be doing that forever for your entire life. You're gonna be home broke or house broke." Hey, to each their own. You will, trust me, you will work hard for something that you really want and that you will really appreciate. And trust me, the Lord can make a way. Okay, you don't have to always work 2 jobs to take care of just something like this house right here. I don't have to work 2 jobs. I can work one if I chose to. Because when all of this happened, this was prior to the pandemic. Like I said, I didn't get this spark of idea, so I bought my first house in 2017. So I would say at the end of 2017, around December of 2017, towards January of 2018 is then when I started this whole process again. And so being through that first process, it taught me a lot. So first of all, I needed to find a part-time job so I can say that, hey, I'm making now the income needed to afford this house. The number 2 thing is that when you're applying for a mortgage, you have to at least be on that job for a 2-year minimum. Being on that job for 2-year minimum, and you should be able to provide the W-2s or your W-2s and your income tax returns forms to show that proof that, yes, I have been on this job for 2 years at least minimum. And then after that, you want to make, if you say you need to switch up jobs or something like that, it's perfectly fine as long as it's still in the same field. If it's in another field, then they are not able to keep that 2-year consistency. So for example, if you are working at Target, right? You are working at Target, and then all of a sudden you leave Target to go become a teacher. Well, those are 2 different fields right there. That would not count right there. So if you're working at Target as a customer care agent on the phone doing call center stuff, and then you go to work at Chase Bank also doing call center stuff, well, that's the same. Those are the same things. You're still providing customer service and you're still working at a call center, then they can count that as the same. So you have to so that's the first thing is I had to do that. So I've located a job, started working there, and but I went through so many part-time jobs throughout this process though. And keep in mind, so we started in 2018. This is now 2023. So within that time span, I have worked at, I worked at HEB in the warehouse. Y'all, HEB had me slimming down. I was losing weight in that warehouse. You would go into work around about 4 o'clock p.m. or 4:30 p.m. and you did not come up out of there until the job was done. You could not leave until the job was done. Now you could leave, but you couldn't. But they put you through boot camp training first. You got to go through boot camp training for about 2 weeks. After you had done boot camp, physical boot camp training for 2 weeks, then you get a week of orientation of how to work the machinery and everything inside the warehouse. And then you go out there on the floor, and then each week they have a set goal for you as well that you have to be meeting when you're in the warehouse working. And I worked in the refrigerator area. I worked with the produce. Y'all, HEB had me slim. I was slimming down working in there, going in at 4 something in the afternoon and getting off around 2 o'clock in the morning. One of those days I didn't get out of there until 5 o'clock in the morning. And I did this in the summertime. And I had to tell myself, how in the world could I teach during the daytime and do this type of physical labor during the nighttime? And the pay was about $17 and some change an hour, and you got paid every week. That was good money too. So I was getting my teacher pay plus that was some good money. But that right there, it was taking a toll on my body. It really was. And I believe we worked only 4 days a week, and then you had 3 days off. That really hurt my body though. I couldn't do it. I think I quit about 3 weeks later. I said, it ain't worth it. I gotta find something else. And my thing is, I found the call center job. Is what I ended up finding. I said, if I could find a call center job, that's it for me. So I was able to locate a call center job, starting off at $14 an hour. I said, hey, and they gave me my hours that I would be working. I was getting my 40 hours in, and I was not doing physical labor, and it was real easy. And I'm still there to this day, actually, as a matter of fact, because it's a really easy job. So just like how I had this ability to sit here and talk to you and everything, the calls do not come in like that. You have such a huge gap sometimes in between calls that allows you to do your work with them and maybe read a book or grade some papers in between. You know, you can't watch TV, you can't surf the internet and all that. But, you know, and then also you have the ability to work from home too as well. I like that, and just go in the office every so often. And so eventually I've gotten bumped up from that starting pay of $14 an hour to even more now to the time I close on my house. I started working at that job back towards the end of 2019. I'm still there currently to this day. So that way I'm able to show the lender that, hey, I have been on this job for a minimum of 2 years consecutive. And so that was the first thing. Another thing is that you need to do as well is to look at your credit report. My biggest suggestion that you do is download My FICO on your phone. Download the app on your phone, or you can go to the computer and log into My FICO, get you an account with them. Whatever credit scores that My FICO has is going to be the exact same credit scores that the lender is going to pull. When I was buying this house right here, the credit score that they pulled was the exact same credit score My FICO had. When I got ready, that's the for the pre-approval process. When we got ready to, so when you get ready to close on your home, right before a few days or like 30 days usually out before before you close on your home, the lender is going to pull your credit again. And so when they pulled my credit score again, I already knew what my credit score was. They said, so do you want to, I said, let me take a guess of what my credit score is. She said, okay, let's see. And I told her what it was. She's like, right, that is what I have. That is your middle credit score. They look at the credit score in the middle. So let's say if you have an 800, a 710, and a 700 credit score, right? The credit score that they're going to go with is what the credit score is in the middle. So they're going to go with the 710, and the 710 is what they're going to use to qualify you for the mortgage loan. And that's how way your interest rate and everything is going to be determined. So not only is MyFICO is good for that, but you can see your credit report with MyFICO, and it lets you know that, hey, these are the current things that you have on here that you owe or stuff that you have paid off. My suggestion as well is to try to pay down as much of your debt as possible. Try to eliminate as many bills as possible. Try to pay down your credit cards to a $0 balance or $10 balance. Get it down to that 10% utilization. Get it down. That's what I would do for the credit cards. If you get your car, if you have a car, right? If you can, I think they say if you can get it down to where that you only owe like 10 months on it, they won't even count that as part of your debt. As long as you have a few months left on it, they won't count it as part of your debt. So you just want to have your debt to income ratio lowered down as much as possible. So debt to income. So your income, how much of income are you bringing in a month versus your debt? Because that's what they're also looking at to see, can you afford this house? How much of debt do you have out? So that was that piece right there. And then after that, you're saving money. You're going to have, so I made up in my mind that I am going to work 2 jobs. I actually really work 3, but I'm going to work 2 jobs. I am going to save money and put money away. And then also, because then you have to start calculating the down payment for this house. Because usually you have to have a certain amount of down payment money to put down. For my house that I'm in now, my first house that you guys saw, I went FHA. And I believe you only had to put down probably about 3% or something at that time. Not quite sure. And like I said, the grand total that I ended up putting down was about $12,000. That's how much I put down. And also that was including my earnest money. That was everything, closing costs, all that was in there. For this house that I'm in now, I put down a large amount of sum. This house that I'm staying in is over $500,000. This is over a $500,000 house. So with the sale, I sold my first house. So I sold it. It's gone. All of that money right there that I got, I bought the house for $237, and I sold it for way more than what I bought it for. That was, I was able to jump in there on that little frenzy when people were just selling houses. Like, you have these bidding wars going on pretty much. So I was able to sell my house for a large amount of sum. And so when I sold that house, I then went into stay in an apartment. And the reason why I sold my house at the around October-ish is when I sold that house. And this community was supposed to open and start selling in November. So I sold the house in October, and now in November I'm getting ready for this community to open up so they can start selling homes, and that didn't happen. So yeah, that didn't happen. But during that time, I went and found an apartment, and I didn't go find a big, heavy, expensive apartment. I found a nice, reasonable price apartment. And that's where me, my 2 dogs stayed at as well. And also, I was not about to pay for a storage unit either for my refrigerator and my washer and dryer and my sofas. I had all that crammed in the living room. That's what I did. So I had all that crammed in my living room, bed in of course, in the bedroom area, and my 2 dogs in the living room as well, in their kennels, and I would let them out and roam around the apartment if they wanted to when I was at home, and when I was at work, they had to stay in their kennel. But that's just I'm just summarizing everything a little bit more. So I stayed in an apartment for a whole year. So like I said, I sold my house in October. So from that point on all the way until I closed on this house, I was staying in an apartment. I did not buy this house or purchase this house until January 30th of 2022 is when I went in for my meeting with the builder and left them my earnest money for the house at that time. And then from January all the way up to November of 2022, that's I just watched this house be built from the ground up. And during that insane time, during that entire time while this house was being built, I was still continually saving money. So I had my money from the sale of my house, plus money that I had already saved before I sold my house, and money that I was still saving while my house was being built. So I was able to take all of that amount of money that I saved and from the sale of my house to use as a down payment for this house. And I put 20% down is what I did. I put 20% down so that way I would not have the mortgage insurance attached as well. And I'll probably try to talk about that a little bit more in another video. And I'll probably try to go over some more other things about lending and mortgages in other videos. But right now I'm just trying to give you guys a quick summative, and this is already 23 minutes just for this little segment only. But the reason why I'm here in this house is because of hard work, being persistent, and having faith in God and believing in God and trusting in God, getting mad at God for God to say, be still and know that I'm God and that I can make it work for you. And trust me, God showed up and showed out for me. He made everything work. I had all the money in the bank account, and I still have money, you guys, saved up in my bank account. I have anywhere about 4 months worth of mortgage note payments saved away in my bank account. So that's a blessing. You know, I worked hard and I saved that money, and it's there. I have it in the event of an emergency for my house. That money is for my house. So if anything should happen on one of my jobs, I got money. So yeah. All right, you guys. So the video did stop recording there a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I hope that today's video has been very encouraging, very motivational, and very uplifting to you guys. And hopefully I can be that little bit of a spark or that little bit of inspiration that some of you guys may need to go ahead and start the home buying process. And I do plan on providing you guys with more future videos of the home buying process, but a little bit more detail about certain segments of the home buying process. Today's video was just pretty much a huge summative of where I started at and where I ended at. So I do plan on providing you guys with more content videos of the home buying process, but a little bit more in detail of certain parts of it. And also I do plan on keeping you guys still updated on the home decor process, as I'm still trying to find pieces for my house and everything as well, and providing you guys with other vlogs. And please, you guys, make sure you like the video. Please make sure you share the video. You never know, you might know somebody that is interested in starting the home buying process, and this could be that video to probably help motivate them or encourage them. So if you know anybody that's trying to start the home buying process or interested in starting the home buying process, share this video with them. You know, I'll be happy to answer any questions that they may have. Just tell them to make sure that they leave it in the comments down below, and I will do my best to answer those questions. And some I might end up having to make a content video to post that for them and others to watch as well. But other than that, I am going to let you guys go. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. We are, as of recording this video, we are currently sitting at 915 subscribers, and I love all of my subscribers. I really do appreciate all of you guys. I thank you all for all the love, all the support you guys are giving and sharing to me. Like, it's just so amazing. It really is. I really do appreciate you all, and I really do thank you guys. So thank you so much, and I will see you all in the next video. All right, you guys.